So, welcome to everyone's special webinar today. It's a customer-focused webinar. Once a quarter, the CS team does a webinar, and we tend to invite someone. We did one with sales last quarter. If you didn't check that out, we do post all that stuff on our YouTubes, or you can always email one of us. So this is a product-focused one because you've probably heard myself or MJ talking a lot about Bodhi 2.0 and all of the upgrades that are coming. And I've had the privilege of working with probably most people on this call. I've been with Bodhi for 2 years, and it's given me a lot of opportunities to learn about the various complex problems that we're helping you solve on a day-to-day basis. And so we've been hard at work rebuilding Bodhi from the ground up to address those needs specifically. And I asked Jeff Bennett to join me because he and I have been working really closely. Every time I get off of a customer call, I message Jeff. We are constantly in communication and keeping the product feedback loop really tight here at Bodhi. So on our journey today, what we're specifically going to show you, I want to give you a little preview of where we're headed, so you're excited to stick through all the product demos we're going to do. But Inbox now supports starring messages and sending templates. It's really more dynamic, really big upgrades, also like the homeowner view from within the inbox. So if you're familiar with using Inbox, you're going to be excited to see what it's going to look like. Also documents. Previously, we've only supported connecting to a repository. We heard you. We can now send and receive documents directly through text messages and have direct uploads from within the inbox. So you can just add things as you're thinking about it. Definitely shout out to Carl on that one. And lastly, the journeys are now supporting sales through service and multiple verticals, and you can make edits in under 10 seconds. So I'm going to show you how all that works. We're going to cram it in the time that we have today. But as you've got questions pop up, just put them into the chat, and then we'll field all of your Q&A at the end. All right, and now I'm going to let Jeff introduce himself.
Brilliant. Thank you, Steph. Hello all. Thanks for having me jump on. This is my first Bodhi webinar that I've been asked to join for, so I'm excited to be here and share off what our product and engineering team has been very busy building, Bodhi 2.0. As Steph mentioned, yes, I am the head of product here at Bodhi. I've been in the team here for about 1.5 years, and I think I've met a handful of you guys that I see hopping on here on the webinar over the past 1.5 years. So it's good to see you again. So over the last 1.5 years, gone deep with the intricacies of CX for residential solar installers and their homeowners. It's my 5th year in solar product in general, and before Bodhi, I was actually in a very different space. I got into solar working in off-grid African home systems, so very different user set, but still learned a ton about product and solar, both from the software and the hardware perspective through that. And the customer experience of getting solar on your home is it's a worldwide thing. So, but very happy to be here at Bodhi. And again, thanks for having me. So perfect. There we go. This is our first slide of the day. Thought we'd kind of have some comic relief here. There's no better segue than this cat photo and to say a few things about the Bodhi's user-centered feedback process. Bodhi prides itself for having a fast feedback loop for product improvement. We're a small but lean team. We execute this by taking in all the customer feedback and developing that into our platform. So every time you've shared a product experience with Steph, like she mentioned, or with any of our CSMs, someone on our product team very likely has heard about it, has seen it, and has investigated it. And it's my job to then put those into product roadmap and do our best to get that into our product as fast as we can. So I meet with the CSMs and I meet with even sales folks talking to prospects regularly on a weekly basis and siphon as many of those product features, improvements, directly into the product. So back to the cat image, you may have noticed that, that's kind of getting at something kind of profound. It's an incredibly relatable thing for a lot of people who build products, no matter what industry you are. 5 years ago, I was not at Bodhi, but I'm very well aware of the process that they went through to create Bodhi in the first place. And when they entered the space, there was no precedent for a customer experience platform in solar. It just didn't exist. So Bodhi was really pioneering what this platform looked like. And as the first mover in the space, the team many years ago built out a ton of product features to find the best product market fit, and which is what startups do. And over time, we built out kind of what you see on the left there, a really cool product. It's got a lot of platforms, a lot of things you can do. In reality, it's different company to company, as you guys know, but you may end up using some parts of Bodhi more than others. So over the last year or so, we've identified the most impactful parts of the Bodhi experience, the thing that's really going to move the business forward for you guys. And we've taken this to have a more scalable approach to building out our new platform. So by implementing a ton of the feedback we've gotten, qualitative and quantitative, have spent the last year or so building out our new architecture, which we'll show today, Bodhi 2.0. This is from new small things, big things, but at the end of the day, Bodhi Pro 2.0, as you'll see, is the same Bodhi platform that you enjoy, but more intuitive, faster, and sure to help you guys automate your processes and communications and deliver the best-in-class customer experience platform and experience for your homeowners with even more ease. Great. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into this demo, and there's a lot to show. So I'll be walking you guys through the first half of the product demo, as Steph mentioned, walking through Inbox and documents. And I just wanted to say that this demo will not be exhaustive, and you'll no doubt find a ton of other, small things, big things when you go clicking around Bodhi 2.0 when you get on. So, what we're showing today is a curated set of a couple of things we're very proud of in the time that we have. So let me go ahead and share my screen. We'll take it back in time just a little bit to set the scene here for Inbox, because Inbox has a lot of power and a lot of time is spent on this part of Bodhi. So we built Bodhi Inbox again about a year ago with a very similar approach based on your guys' feedback and what you were asking for, and we built it to focus on a few major pain points. And as a reminder, this is sort of Inbox in a nutshell right here. So pain point one that we tried to tackle was that it's very hard to communicate with homeowners because there are so many different ways they like to communicate with you. They might text you, they might cold call you, they might even just walk up to your door and knock on your, they might just knock on your door and expect some sort of response. Maybe that's too much, but we've all been there essentially trying to find that lost message that one of the homeowners sent you maybe a couple weeks ago. Maybe their name was Dave. Maybe you didn't save their number. One of your sales guys has it in their phone, but maybe you don't as a project manager. It gets very messy. And so Inbox tried to consolidate all of this messiness into one place whilst providing that homeowner facing white label app that they can see all the communications consolidated into one platform. So as you can see here, as you guys are well aware, on this platform, we siphon all the messages from texting. Right here, text message from Charlie Chaplin, this user. This is from the Bodhi web app, and also any responses directly from emails make their way into Inbox as well. Pain point number two was that it's very difficult to make sure every customer's questions get answered by somebody. So it's easy to drop the ball on a customer here and there when you're doing a couple of handoffs, and you don't want those handoffs to be poor customer experiences. So this is why we created a two-part inbox with my messages and all messages. My messages are all the messages that you are directly managing to as a project manager or service manager, whoever may be owning the installer account. And all messages allows you to take a look at all of the threads for all homeowners you're managing to. So, this solves that problem of visibility into the whole team's messaging. And so from no matter what point of view you're coming from, you're able to see it all. So what's new? Let's get to it. This is the Bodhi Inbox 2.0. You see I have my little handy dandy walkthrough to help me walk through the things we'll be showing you. First thing I wanted to show you was a pain point that still persists in Bodhi, even with consolidated communications. PMs, service managers, operations managers, whoever is using Bodhi as this communications platform are pushed and pulled in a lot of directions. We hear time and time again that PMs are tackling a task here getting distracted here and there, being tapped on the shoulder to solve this problem. Maybe you're out in the field doing things one day and you have to put some tasks down. So relatably, maybe you left a homeowner sort of in your to-do list for a little bit too long, and before you look up, 3 weeks later, this thread is on page 3 of the inbox, and you couldn't find it, and you get an angry text that says, "Hey, where's my response? I thought I was going to hear back from you guys." So very simply, we tried to set out to improve the inbox by helping PMs answer the question, how can I keep track of all the customers I need to respond to? So the first set of features is really, quite simple, but really necessary for what you guys are doing and what you're using it for. And it's starring messages for priority. So this first way to do this is just by demarcating particular threads as something you need to come back to, or starring for however you see fit. It's quite simple. I'll show you how to do this. If you take a look at this, over each hovered thread, you will now see a start icon for each one in the My Messages that you can toggle on and toggle off. And you'll get your success toast over here to let you know that your thread has been updated as a starred priority message. So looking through my contacts here, I've noticed that, let's say I got a new message here from Daniel Craig. He's been bugging me for an update. And I say, all right, well, I need to kind of get back to Daniel Craig for this, but maybe now's not the time, or maybe there's some other reason that I need to star Daniel Craig. I'll go ahead and star Daniel, and you'll see right there, he is saved. Now each thread does have this star icon only in the My Messages thread. Now what's most useful about this new star feature is that it's only as useful as being able to recall it up. So now again, from My Messages, the next thing I want to show you is how you're going to be able to recall this. So you'll see this icon in the search inbox now in Bodhi Inbox, which allows you to apply filters to your results in My Messages, both for starred messages and for unread messages. And you can actually layer them both to see the important starred messages that are also unread, or just starred and just unread. So let's say it's that time of the week. I got to get back to Daniel Craig. So I will go ahead and filter by starred, apply the filter, and here you go. Only the starred messages that I have demarcated as such are showing up, so I can go ahead and run my communications directly through these priority homeowners. So again, at any point in this process, feel free to shoot questions in the chat, clarification questions, curiosities, ideas as well. We're open. But now is a really great time to show you guys a quick add-on feature that we've also added into the the 2.0 architecture that I think you guys will find very interesting. And this thing is message templates. So these are designed to be used in situations where it's very difficult to actually automate these things into a journey, things you can't control. So one example that might make sense for a templated message is when you're missing a utility bill from a homeowner. This can really slow down the process at that point in the solar install process. And this is how you insert one into a thread for, let's say, Daniel Craig. Right here at the bottom of the inbox message thread composer, you will see an insert template button, which comes with, in this case, I've set all these up in our demo account as different templated message you could send. But I've got one right here for utility bill request. So I'll go ahead and just insert that right in for Daniel Craig. It looks like we're missing your utility bill. Please reply here with a picture of it. And go ahead and send that off to Daniel Craig. And I didn't have to type a thing. It's a one-click button. So we find this to be very useful here because, again, these do not mess with the journeys. They do not mess with the flow of the communications for the journey progress tracker, and allows you to do this quickly and easily for any type of things that are very difficult to automate. And I'll show you where you can access these. Right in settings, and then right in message templates. You'll see here a control panel where you can create as many message templates as you want. So in Bodhi Pro 2.0, you can have infinite if you'd like. I'm sure there's a point where too many is too many, but really it's very helpful to be able to call all of these up without having to copy and paste and reword the same message over and over again. Fantastic. So those are the major updates to Inbox and composing messages I'd like to show, and I'd like to shift over to Bodhi documents. here we are. So again, another product experience that we've received a lot of feedback about over the years, like Steph mentioned in the intro, that we're very proud about is the Bodhi documents. For a bit of context, as you guys all know in solar, documents is a very complicated process. The documents and where they're expected to come from, whether they're images or PDFs, contracts, you name it, they can come from everywhere. So they might get sent to you by email. You might get images from service folks of very blurry images on very bad phone cameras. You never know where they're coming from. The hardest part about this is consolidating all those documents into one place. And no matter how hard you try to keep track of all these documents, we know and we've heard from you guys that you'll still get that homeowner message that comes through that says, hey, where are my documents? Where are these things? I can't find these images. Where are you storing them? So Bodhi 2.0 makes that a heck of a lot easier than it was in our original platform. So as a quick refresher, Bodhi does right now integrate with your document repository. So this is the first kind of new thing here we're showing, is that we now have all the documents stored directly in the right pane of the inbox for each individual homeowner thread. So, and I'll show you later on a couple more things here in the right pane, but it's all very much so, consolidated right here to the Daniel Craig homeowner thread account. Everything you need is right here. So yeah, as a refresher, we do store those Google Drive or SharePoint or Box, whatever document repository you use. Bodhi has used that as the way that we manage your documents. But we made sure to improve this experience by, well, really from start to finish, by making sure that you can easily access and consolidate those images from other means of getting those into the communication threads, both from you to the homeowner and the homeowner to you. So let me show a few ways that we've improved this process. So here we go. Option one of how you can get documents to the homeowner and how you can store that in your system. Right here, you can actually attach documents now directly via the inbox thread, which will go to the homeowner as a message via SMS and email. So I'll go ahead and let's see here. I'm going to pop in a picture of a sunrise to get them stoked about the solstice that's coming up, the longest day of the year. And I'll have a message up from Daniel that says, longest day of the year, get excited. I'm going to go ahead and send that photo, could be a PDF as well, off to Daniel. And Daniel will receive this again by SMS and email. And what you'll notice here as well, over in the right pane where my cursor is showing, that we have a separate section in the document section of the right pane that actually handles all documents and photos that were sent via the thread. So you might have noticed, yeah, so I just sent this photo off and I pinged Charlie Chaplin. But if you want to send an image or a document without pinging your homeowner, you can upload another document directly from here and not deal with the notifications to your homeowner. So I just quickly uploaded that image right here, got the success, and Bodhi Pro 2.0 JPEG has been sent over. So that was option two for how to upload a document. And of course, we still have the document repository right here, which live syncs with your document repository. And from the homeowner perspective, let me go ahead and change my desktop so you can see. This is Daniel Craig's account. I've logged in a separate window as Daniel Craig. Look at this. I've gotten my image directly from my homeowner or my installer PM of the picture of the sunrise. I'm very excited for the longest day of the year. And if I go to the document section, you can see that in addition to my Google document repository documents and images I have right here, I can also see my Uluru sunrise that I sent over as well. And I believe if I refresh, I will also see that my Bodhi Pro 2.0 JPEG that I just sent over in the right pane also populated in one consolidated document spot for my homeowner to see. So fantastic. That is the updated Bodhi document architecture that we have built out for you guys. I'd like to take the opportunity before I hand the mic back to Steph to point out a few things about the right pane that speak to how we've just sort of simplified the homeowner summary page. So in our current platform right now, you might be familiar with a separate page entirely opening up new tabs every time you press, go to this homeowner page. And we've gotten rid of that entirely and put it all in the right pane. So a few things I'll show you is that right here, Daniel Craig's account information is all here. This looks familiar. We've consolidated the homeowner system right below it. The overview gives you the current state of their journey progress tracker, as well as their current information around what journey they're in, what phase they're in within that journey, and particularly what touch. So all that journey information is able to be called right here without having to go anywhere else. And the other thing to show off is the activity log, which is great for troubleshooting. It's great for seeing exactly what kind of automated messages have been sent out to your homeowners when you were doing your normal operations and you let Bodhi do the automations for you. So these two things are a great segue into what Steph's going to be speaking to next. But at this point, I will hand the mic, the MC powers back over to Steph to walk you all through journeys. And if there are any questions or curiosities, again, type in that chat, ask questions away. We can get to them in the Q&A afterwards. So again, thanks all for having me come on and help show off our new 2.0 product.
Thanks so much. I think because it's old news in our Bodhi Free that we launched at SPI in September, the inbox is also mobile friendly on the new architecture. So for installers who are on the go, some people I know spend time on roofs as well as in front of their computers. You can check those messages and send those on the go. The journeys, which is what I'm going to demo next, is a little too complicated to ever fit into the mobile view. So that's never on our roadmap, but the inbox is the one that we had requests over and over to be able to quickly and easily send those messages when you see them come through. And especially being able to upload, a photo from your phone is pretty sweet. My turn. I spend a lot of time in journeys with all of our customers. So the product feedback for this was as much from you all as it was from the CS team. We really want all of our customers to be very comfortable making edits and changes in journeys. And so our goal, and something I alluded to, is that you can make these edits in under 10 seconds. So we're going to get there, but first I'm going to show you this new overview of the active journeys, and you'll notice that we have a lot of different journey types. I've worked with a lot of customers who are diversifying. Rooftop solar has taken a little bit of a hit. We're seeing way more battery attachments. We've had customers branch out into roofing. You'll notice our demo account has roofing. We've got customers who also are seeing gains in commercial and haven't been quite sure how to adapt Bodhi for those commercial uses. And so I'll show you how we're supporting all these different verticals and use cases in the Bodhi journeys by starting out with this new lead journey. The project tracker, or as we lovingly call it, the pizza tracker that everyone's familiar with, has gotten an upgrade. The use case here is that I actually work with customers not only across every region in the US, but internationally as well. And so there's really no true default journey. And what we wanted to be able to support is different phases lasting very different amounts of time. And previously, this was a one-size-fits-all tracker. So as you make adjustments to the days in phase, it's actually going to dynamically show. We're also really into product psychology here at Bodhi, and so customers trust specific numbers more than even numbers, and we're all about building trust with your customers. So they will see 67% and not think it's a completely random number, and trust you more. And that way I've seen Florida customers with a 45-day inspection phase. I've seen Texas customers with a 2-day inspection phase. If you're in one of the longer regions, and I'm sorry to break that to you, but everywhere is different. But this also just makes it really powerful for supporting completely different journey types. If you're building a battery only and you don't need as many phases, you can easily remove those. If you want to build a pre-sales journey for lead nurturing, you can rename all of them, which you're used to doing. We're also putting automatic enrollment into the journey based off of CRM conditions into your hand. This is something that you would have had to request through our engineering team in the past. So this is a pretty powerful feature as well. So next up, I'm going to show you something that is simple, and it kind of alludes to the cat in the box. Sometimes you gotta strip something down in order to build it back up. And really the biggest blocker we had in supporting a lot of different verticals was just the welcome message. And so now you'll notice that the welcome message is completely customizable. So this allows you to have full control from the very first text message that your customers receive, set the right expectation, whether it's old customers that you want to enroll in a service journey, and you want to be able to send them on a time-based journey, and you haven't enrolled them in Bodhi before, get them access to documents that you're having to pull up at tax time. So now you can add customers who are on the back end as well as pre-sales, because you can totally edit this message and control how that goes out to them. The other stuff that I'm gonna point out here is how you can customize all of the survey content. But to do that, I am going to go to a more familiar journey for everybody who's on the call, which is our installation journey. So this is just a sample here for California. And some of the other features that we had kind of buried and didn't give you control over were NPS and CSAT. So the NPS used to just be sent via text. There wasn't any visibility into it. And now you have control over that. You can control the messaging, but more specifically, you can control the exact timing. We had it attached to the journey starting. Maybe in a certain journey, you don't want that NPS to go out. Maybe in like a pre-sales journey. So now you have control over whether it's sent at all. And you can also select minutes or hours, and maybe have a survey go out very quickly after a step, or you can still set it 24 hours later. I'll show you later that we still support days for all of our regular time since, but typically these want to be sent more quickly. The CSAT survey is also now sent via SMS. It used to only live inside the app. So that was great for catching early escalations, but only if that customer was logging into the app. If they weren't logging in, they might be a risk because they're not that engaged. And so now we're sending CSAT directly via text and also giving you full control over the messaging there as well. Most of you will just want to use it out of the box, but we've had requests for being able to ask more specific questions, actually get feedback at each stage. And so now you have control over that. And we've got a fun SMS testing feature. And so maybe you've got somebody who focuses on marketing or is just another stakeholder in the company, and you want to be able to send all of the like survey and review referral type messages to them so they can experience the flow without having to create a test account in your CRM. That's sometimes a blocker for getting more people at your company involved in how to use Bodhi. And the ops team, they're not typically the marketing team. And so the more folks who are focused on crafting language and the voice of your company, who get involved, you'll just continue to iterate and have a better quality journey. So for editing content in under 10 seconds, the CSAT and the NPS, you're probably going to use that out of the box. The chances of editing it are less frequent. But the permitting is where I see a lot of variance across different regions and companies, and you want to be able to set different expectations. So we made some spiffy changes. First of all, you can tell I'm just scrolling from one phase to the next. We used to have to tab from phase to phase, which really made the journey kind of disjointed. And so now if you want design completed, you could just move that into another phase. But for editing this city permit submitted, you'll see that the trigger type is set up, but when you go into messaging and content, the SMS and the in-app are the same. So that's really exciting because every time you went through and edited your SMS, you had to copy and paste it to other places. And so now you can make a very quick change here. For example, maybe you don't want to call out the AHJ in your area and you just want to say the city permit application was successfully submitted. And that is it. Down here, you can tell that it's keeping track of the edits I've made. So that really helps all of our customers feel really confident of exactly what's changed. Okay, I want to accept that. So I'm going to click save because I'm ready to save that change. And you don't have to copy and paste anything into the app. And you can even choose to skip the email completely for this touch. So some of these ones, maybe it's an update and you don't feel like sending an email because it's redundant. And most of your customers are just paying attention to their phones anyways. You can fully skip the email. You don't have to send one anymore. But let's say you made a bunch of detailed changes here. In like literally 2 seconds, you're just gonna check this use copy from SMS into email, and it's gonna replace the email content with what you wrote in SMS. So that's how you can look at a touch now, make a change, and just be fully ready to go in under 10 seconds, which is exciting. The what's next still exists here, so that is a feature you know and love. But if it's left blank, we'll actually just retain the what's next from before. So that's also going to speed up this journey editing, is as you add touches, you don't have to copy and paste the what's next from the previous touch. So hopefully some of the people on this call are celebrating these changes, because I know I've done lots of journey editing with my customers, and I'm so excited to be implementing this with everybody in the future. All right, cool. So can make these changes and move on to the next one. So enhanced CRM triggers. I'm going to move along in the journey now to our utility interconnection approved. And show you our and condition. So what you'll notice here is I'm combining a deal stage status along with a field, which is the Bodhi utility. So I've had customers kind of hem and haw about, do I duplicate a journey for this one utility that has a really slow approval process? And what we wanted to support is being able to branch logic more easily. So we still support the OR logic, which was the default, which meant if this condition or this condition is met, send this message. But now we have and. So this person is in a specific utility and they've reached this stage of the process. You can diverge and send different messaging, set different expectations, and have a different what's next. That way you can really hone in on your journey without having to duplicate it. And the more install journeys you have, it can be challenging to keep them all current. So I'm really excited about this because it's maybe looking a little complex to you. I know customers always like getting the CSM feedback before they launch something new, which is a best practice. We're happy to support you all along the way. We've included something that is a draft feature. That way you can put together what you think is the new touch and the logic that you want to set loose into the Bodhi ecosystem, but set it as a draft. Here you'll notice that the little bell icon, it's muted. And so that way you can work on a new part of your journey, keep it in the draft. Maybe your process is changing, so you quickly want to turn off some different touches while you rework your material delivery process, for example. So that is a pretty exciting feature, and you can continue to stack these triggers here. The other thing that is pretty cool is if you click on a different phase, it'll scroll you to that part of the phase. So I want to show some different things around reviews and referrals. We've got this post-site survey review request, and we are now supporting a review link URL. So that way, when you enter that Google review link that your CSM has helped you set up, we can very seamlessly deliver that through a text message, and it'll pop them off straight to Google to leave you a review. And then I'm going to use this refer a friend message as an example, is that on the refer a friend, you will notice that there are a couple more icons here. And so let's say you've edited this refer a friend message and you really like it and you want to use it more places. We're now supporting just duplicating touches. So now you've created a copy and you can move that and use that. So that is creating new content in under 10 seconds as well. And then you can also drag these. So you can quickly move and drag a touch. And then that way you can reorder your journey in a way that's really simple and easy. All right. To bring this all around back to where we started, which is the inbox. This is, under the hood, so to speak, with Bodhi. But where does all of this show up? And I'm going to head back to the inbox for that. So another common thing that we run into with our customers is maybe you hate your CRM and now you just want to ditch it, or whoever was working on the CRM and keeping it up to date has left, and now your CRM is in disarray. And so all of your Bodhi notifications that are relying on these triggers aren't going out. But because you care about the customer experience, you're still messaging these customers because they're messaging you. What we've done is we've decoupled the project tracker from only being able to move forward from the CRM. And the way that you can do that is by clicking on the edit for any of these customers. And now we are showing what their journey assignment is. You can change the journey that they're in. But more importantly, you can actually move them forward by choosing the next touch that you want to send and updating it. So I don't have the HJ linked here, so that's my bad, but they got this message and the project tracker moved forward. And so now if your CRM isn't up to date, you can send this. We won't be able to go back in time, which is a benefit, because if your CRM is out of date and then all of a sudden someone goes through and updates a bunch of dates, we designed it now that we won't go back and send like a site survey or something from the design phase, or once they reach install, they're not going to get permit notifications anymore. But you can keep them moving forward. If you don't want to impact the project tracker at all, that's what this insert template option is for. So maybe you've got some parts of the process that happen out of order. You can rely on the message templates to send something pre-canned. But otherwise, now you can move them forward with this, and you'll see that this city permit approved was sent, and they're move forward in their permitting phase. Cool. And yeah, that's all that we wanted to fit in today. So we've hit all of the high points. There's still many things that we're rolling out actively. Our focus is on 2.0 and really making it the best that it can be. And we hope you've learned a lot, but also generated a lot of questions. So I'm gonna let Kat maybe filter through any of the Q&A that we're ready to address at this point. And while you're thinking of your questions and entering them into the chat, I'm gonna ask Jeff to maybe give a peek around the corner with anything else on the roadmap over the next couple months for 2.0.
Yeah, absolutely. Specific features probably won't get into today because we showed you so much already, but we do have a North Star for what we are building out over the next couple of months in 2.0. And it really revolves around helping you guys answer the question every day when you log on to Bodhi, what's priority today? What do I tackle today on Bodhi? So some sneak peek things that we're looking at and looking to develop are, in a general sense, sort of notifications for Bodhi, more functionality into the inbox to help you guys use that filter function with a lot more granularity. And those are a couple of exciting ideas. But you'll also notice that the Insights tab over there on the left side of the screen is currently very clearly saying it's under construction. We are building out a new Insights page that is going to be a lot more helpful to help you guys answer the question as well. How is Bodhi directly affecting my operations, and how is Bodhi making my homeowners experience better? So we've really narrowed it into making that experience a lot more helpful for you guys in your business operations.
Also, one more thing that I didn't cover because it may or may not have a great use case with our existing customers who are, using CRMs to drive their automation. But we are allowing homeowners to be added who aren't in your CRM. And we stripped back the system requirements a lot. So our whole goal was really making it as seamless as possible to get anybody into Bodhi that you want to be able to message, and not having as many guardrails. Our original cat tree had a lot of guardrails that had intention and purpose, and as we got more and more requests to use Bodhi in a wider range of uses, we had to deconstruct the cat tree a little bit and just let you play in that cardboard box.
All right, we did have one question come through now. This is from an anonymous attendee. You guys are all welcome to submit questions anonymously if you're feeling shy or unsure about your question. This person asks, when are you incorporating an AI chatbot? So a provocative question, perhaps. I don't know, Jeff or Steph, I know we have some hot takes on AI chatbots here at Bodhi, if either of you want to take this.
Yeah, I can say something real quick. Honestly, yeah, Kat hit on the head. We've had a lot of conversations around this. It seems to be a very, a very hot topic, no matter the industry. We don't have any plans right now on the roadmap to build in an AI chatbot, but we have talked about ways to use that technology to in a way that's going to be more effective for solar install operations and communications. So No chatbot per se. That is going to be some proprietary Bodhi AI chatbot, but rest assured we have discussed using that technology in some way, shape, or form in the next couple of quarters.
Yeah, I've liked AI when it takes a lot of information and distills it into what's most important or the highlights. I've almost never had a good experience personally interacting with a chatbot unless it was for something extremely simple like how to reset my router maybe. And even then, so yeah, go follow us on the socials. I think we were recently sharing a study that showed businesses' expected use of chatbots is high, but customers' expected adoption of chatbots is low. Customers still hate chatbots, and they pretty much always know when they're interacting with one.
Yeah, not to turn this into a hating on AI chatbots webinar, but another study that we were referencing a lot internally at Bodhi recently was the Wall Street Journal recently published an article about how CX scores have declined since 2021, largely because of the use of chatbots, AI chatbots by big businesses. So our take, I know speaking with Scott as well, for those of you who are familiar with him, is that AI is really great, but we don't want to put it in front of your customers or have it be customer facing unless we're really confident in its ability to deliver value for your business. And right now, that's just not where the technology is, even for really large companies. So it's something we're thinking about, like Jeff is saying, but not something that we would want to unveil quite yet. Oh, and we have another question coming up. Just about what is kind of next steps for folks who are interested in using some of these features, Stephanie?
Yeah.
When can they start using some of them?
Yeah, so the version of 2.0 that's out right now is our MVP, but we have a lot of features that our existing customers have come to rely on that are still in development before we're ready to roll this out to our existing customer base. But we want to get everybody excited about what the long wait has been for and see everything that went into creating Bodhi 2.0 and know that the wait is worth a while. All right, I see another good question here. Let me read it before I can. So one of our past challenges has been when we need to adjust an in-flight journey with lots of customers on it. Is there a way to mass assign homeowners to new journeys, or is that something we'd still work through the Bodhi support team for? Yeah, mass assignment is, or like bulk edits and changes in general is a request we have. I know that I showed you that automatic enrollment feature. So being able to like change the enrollment is going to be a lot easier and in your hands. But yeah, being able to move customers in flight from one journey to the next is still something that we would need to support you in the short term. And yeah, one more little plug. I think you saw I had this get started icon. If you ever notice an icon in the bottom right of your Bodhi experience and it's connecting you to support@bodhi.solar, you are welcome to send any and all requests to that email. We'll accept all of your product feature requests. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you want to email us, don't worry, it won't ping us. We won't wake up, but we'll see it in the morning. So yeah, keep all of your requests coming because the more we hear something, the higher we can prioritize it in our development roadmap.
And then we've got another question. Question about files. Are copies now stored on your own servers, regardless if they were identified with the Bodhi marker from our own file servers or directly uploaded as attachments in the app as demoed earlier?
I'll let
Yeah,
Jeff.
Yeah, and please, if anyone has more nitty-gritty questions like this, I think we welcome them because we know that these are the things that your own team probably thinks about when they're using Bodhi.
Yeah, this is a great question, Mike. Thanks for asking it. The new document architecture is the same as before in terms of the Google document repository. So when you see on the homeowner side of things, the documents listed there with all of the Google or whatever document repository you use, all the documents listed there, those are essentially just directly read in from Google Drive. But this new thing we're doing here with the inbox, we actually have our own storage for all of those documents that are hosted on our own servers. So those are all callable, downloadable, and accessible by homeowners. It's completely seamless, and even from your guys' perspective as installers, there's really no difference for where the storage will be done, but it's kind of both now. So hope that answers your question a little bit. Yeah,
don't send anything you couldn't take back in a text message is basically how the inbox documents work. But on your repository, if you remove something or change the file name, we're still syncing it in the same way from the repository.
Well, I know people are starting to drop off. So if there are no more questions, we'll give it another 30 seconds. I'll buy you some times here. But thank you everyone for joining. We appreciate all of these questions, all of your attention. And we're excited to get everyone over to 2.0, which, as you saw, is more secure, has more feature sets, will hopefully streamline your workflows even more with these like 10-second changes that you're now able to make, saving things as drafts, all of the great stuff that Steph and Jeff shared.
Thanks, everybody. Happy summer solstice. Enjoy the longest day of the year. Check your solar production if you're lucky enough to have solar panels. I unfortunately still don't have solar here in Utah, but it's on the roadmap.
Thanks, everyone.